Replaced dropped yesterday on Game Pass, and after 5 years of delays, I wasn't sure what I was going to get. 1 hour in, I have thoughts. Let's get into it. Developed by Sad Cat Studios in Belarus and published by Thunderful, Replaced is the studio's debut title. And after many delays and setbacks, it finally released on April 14th, 2026, 4 years after its initial announced release date. I was eager to fire it up, to say the least. The first thing I noticed as I made my way through the game was the striking similarity to the opening of 2016's Inside, just with visuals that were absolutely stunning. Nothing against Inside, but Replaced is on a different level when it comes to overall art design and animation work. The key here is that the animation work is both gorgeous and it remains fun to play. Add on top of this occasional cinematic camera angles and you've got an absolute feast for the eyes, whether you're into pixel art or not. If I have a slight knock against the art style, it's that occasionally I found it a bit hard to discern interactive elements in the background. This led to slight head scratching, but at least in the first hour, it was nothing that couldn't be sussed out rather quickly. One thing that makes this game stand out a bit from other games like it is the inclusion of combat. While initially a bit clunky, only because the default for each skill felt like they should be mapped to different buttons, I felt perfectly capable by the second and third encounters. It's relatively straightforward: X to attack, A to dodge, Y to parry. Dodge and parry are tied to markers that pop above enemies' heads. I'm not sure how deep the system goes, but when 3 to 4 enemies were introduced, it felt fast, fluid, and effective. Sprinkled throughout the levels are various scanning points that allow you to fill out a handheld device called a Wingman 2. Kinda looks like what would happen if a Game Boy and a Walkman had a baby. The Wingman 2 not only holds your scans, think of a codex, but it also is an organizer, or quest log. It holds past tutorials, doubles as a music player, and allows you to edit the game's settings. My first hour allowed me to traverse the prologue and the entirety of Chapter 1, which culminated in a boss fight, which showed me that the combat could have some interesting wrinkles thrown in to keep things interesting. Now, if I wanted to nitpick anything about my first hour, there were 2 minor things that stood out a little bit. I did find one music track to use in my Wingman 2, but it looks like you can only listen to the track while using the Wingman 2 and not during exploration. And, speaking of exploration, the game doesn't seem to allow you to move the camera with the right thumbstick to check out obscured paths. It's not too significant, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't jump to my death on more than one occasion while looking for hidden scan points, especially when I found out that some of those scan points could be permanent health upgrades. Overall, I was genuinely impressed with my first hour of Replaced. If you're on Game Pass and on the fence, I'd say give it a shot. You want to see what I'm playing next? I'm live pretty much every day. You can catch me streaming over on Twitch and right here on YouTube. Subscribe so you don't miss it. And if you know someone who's been eyeing this one, send this video their way. Like it if it helped, and I'll see you in the next one.